In today's video, we will have a real conversation about darkest moments in the life of entrepreneur. If you own a business and you've never been down, it will happen to you. It happens to the best of us. We have one of the best Facebook groups for business owners on the internet. It's called Roofing Insights Private Group. And I'm gonna start this video with reading one of the posts from one of our members, Brent. He posted, "Real talk for a second. I'm not the hype to reach out for attention, and I can't stand people who act like they are the only ones with the problems. So please don't take this as a wanting attention. But I'm a freaking fog and wanted to know if anyone else has experienced this. Dwindling motivation, not enjoying it anymore, avoiding contact with people. I feel like all of this stems from growing pains, but damn, nobody ever told me about the psychological demands a business will put on you. There's so much I need to be doing, and I have moments of clarity, but it's like I have amnesia right now, and once I sit down to do something, I forget. I write stuff down now, but then I lose that. There's so many systems I need to put in place, but I don't even know where to start. My job Nibus is absolute disaster. Can't get my salesman to use it how I need them to. My sub pay each week is screwed up. I need to be reviewing what goes out, but I don't. Just have a lot of negative thoughts right now. Maybe with a side of depression, who knows? You all probably saw me shooting videos regularly, but it's like I've fallen off. I have hundreds, no jokes, of videos in my phone album where I have started and stopped because it's like I don't know what to say. It's affecting work and home life. It's just like everything has compounded. Anyone else go through this? You guys are the only people I have to talk to about this. And I have another conversation with Brent this morning. He actually sent me a huge message complimenting our group, telling me that he literally cried first time in a long time once he seen how many people engaged, how many people commented, and he said, what's happening right now, it's unheard of. Roofers usually are roofless. We don't care about other people. We're selfish and we're ignorant. We're competitive. And he said, in this group, he sees so many roofers who really care, trying to help. So, Brett, you're not alone. I've been there myself. I'm going to share my story, and I'm going to give you 6 tips in this video. What have I done in personal development and business development, what I've changed to become who I am today. 3 years later, I don't have depression anymore. I don't have anxiety. Every once in a while, I have slow times. We'll all have it. I'll talk about it. But in this video, I will share how did I go from being depressed, like Brad is depressed today, to becoming Dmitry. A lot of you guys know today. I'm a completely different person. I truly feel like I'm a completely different person. So I want to identify the symptoms. What's happening to us? Why do we let it happen to us? Why do we drive ourselves to these positions? Why do we work so hard when we don't want it anymore? Like, what's happening to us? Why we allow this to happen? Because it's not only Brad, it's not only me. It happens to way too many people, but not many willing to admit it or share it with the public. So I will share my story with the public. If it helps one person, I will accomplish my mission. So here are my 6 tips, what to do if you're depressed, maybe seasonally depressed, and you don't have motivation, you don't want to go anymore. So first, I wanted to identify the problem. The problem is us. If you are experiencing any type of depression, you're the one who led you to it. It's not employee, it's not process. There's going to be some factors like cash flow management, employees stealing from you, people are not motivated who works for you, but you're the problem. I was the problem. It can be because we work too much, because we're trying to control too much, because we don't want to delegate, because we're micromanaging. We want to be everywhere in our business, and we're literally driving ourselves into depression because your body will start shutting down, your mood, your brain, everything will be affected by it, and your brain will tell you, hey, you're putting too much on me, I can't do it, like I want to quit. So if you're doing too much, listen to my tips, please, because if you don't, you might just walk away and lose your business, or your business will lose you, and you might get full-time job after this. So here's what I did when I didn't want it. Like, I got to the point where I still remember, like today, a lot of you guys heard my story, but on Tuesday, I have $50,000 in my account, and on Friday, I was negative $2,000, and I didn't know what happened. I just simply didn't know. It seemed like we always have money coming in, money was coming out, and financial stress is the hardest stress for me. I don't know what's the hardest stress for you, but I have people stealing from me at the same time. I didn't know about it, but two people who were working for me, they already started their own business. So what happened to me is I was working too much. I was not taking care of myself, but they didn't help. I pretty much drive my business to the ground, if you will. On outside, we're doing jobs, we're doing sales, but on inside, we're always a little bit short, and not much. It's not like we owed huge amount of money to suppliers or subs, but it was just barely making it, breaking it even. So I couldn't figure it out, and I was depressed. And one day I came in and I just said, you know what? I quit. I don't want it anymore. It's just too hard. I remember I sent emails to a few people, including my lawyer, and I said, I quit. Today I'm done. And I walked away, and I went home. It was summertime, like June, July, and I think it was end of June. And I took 4 of my kids and completely turned off my phone and took them 2 hours away out of town, went on a boat trip, just wanted to spend time with my kids, completely plugged away, came back, and I made a couple decisions. That time I was trying to understand what have happened to me and why did I become who I became. And first thing, and this is my first tip for you today, guys, first thing that I realized that I stopped taking care of myself, like my body. I always been fit when I was in university, younger in my 20s. I always play basketball, go to the gym, and up to that point, it's been, I believe, 8-9 months since the last time I was at the gym. So I was completely not fit. I was not eating right. Like, I was not taking care of my body. So my first advice to you is to do what I did. Commit to fitness. Fitness will change your life. You'll be amazed what fitness can actually do. And since that time, and it's been 3 years, I never skipped for more than, I would say, maybe a couple weeks. So I joined CrossFit and I made a commitment, and this is my tip to you, made a commitment to fitness. I joined CrossFit and I said I will never leave CrossFit, and I made it that day my priority. I said, I don't care what's going to happen in my business. No matter what happens in my business, I will never skip the gym. I'll never leave my fitness community. So for me, it was CrossFit. Today, I'm a member of 3 gyms. 3, not 1, not 2, not 3. Go to Lifetime and I go to 2 CrossFit gyms. One of the reasons I like CrossFit is because in CrossFit there are no losers. You can be the last person who will finish workout, but you have 10-15 people around you working with you, and we improve on our bodies. On a chemical level, your brain gonna be happier. If you study what actually exercise does to you, to your body, it's amazing. Like yesterday, we have hard times here too. Roofing Insights, Storm Group. I just have my production manager resigned in Orlando, Florida. And I'm not depressed, but it definitely affects me. So we have some issues here. I have to film videos, always behind. There's always deadline. There's always something to do. But no matter what, I still put 2 workouts yesterday. I already have been at the gym twice today. I beat one of my videographers in a basketball game this morning, and I went to CrossFit gym and I work out before that. So I wake up 4 in the morning and 5 in the morning, I'm in the gym. I don't care what's on my agenda. My first tip to you is, if you put your business first and your fitness is not even on the horizon, commit to the fitness. You will be healthier, you'll be more motivated, you'll be happier, and it'll help you with your depression. Guess what? After I go to the gym, I'm happier, I'm pumped, I'm more energetic. I don't have time for depression. I have more reasons to be depressed now than 3 years ago. It's a true story. 3 years ago, I didn't have problems I have today. But today, despite the fact that I have more deadlines, more phones to answer, more employees to manage, more payroll today. Today is Friday. I have tons of payroll. And despite all of that, I still work out more because my body is all I have. And it's, a lot of people depends on this body. So start taking care of yourself. That's my first tip for you. My tip number 2 is go new places and meet new people. I remember diving into my business and literally I felt like I never could get my head above the waters. Like I would ask my wife, hey, can I go to this conference? Or I want to go there. I never could. Because not only because of money, sometimes it was because of money, but sometimes I couldn't go because I didn't have enough time, because there's always jobs. And when I started traveling, everything have changed. As a matter of fact, I want to share how I started Roofing Insights. We went to Las Vegas with my videographer at the time. And guys, I didn't have money. I could not spare more than $500. So I booked cheapest room in the hotel. It cost me $50 at Westgate. It was the cheapest room I could get. I hired my videographer. He was not working for me full time, so I booked him for 2 days. I think he was charging me $30, $40 an hour. So we have a deal where I pay him like $500 for 2 days. That's including editing videos. We flew there. I would say I spent probably 8 hours on the floor. To this day, those videos are chasing me and gives me popularity. One of them was a Home Advisor booth video when we were just passing by. It became iconic videos for us. And he was behind us filming that conversation. We got stopped by Home Advisor. I confronted them. But the point is, I spent, $600-700 on that trip. I spent one night in Vegas. Tickets was like $200. I was on the budget. I couldn't even afford it, to be honest with you. But because I did it, it changed my life. And next week, we're going to be at IRE. I invite you guys to IRE. That's where YouTube channel Roofing Insights have started 3 years ago. Because when you go out and you start meeting new people, your brain will explode, will get overwhelmed at first, but you're gonna come home later and you're gonna look at everything completely different. So even if you can't afford, take a road trip, go somewhere cheap, attend one of our classes, be my guest. If you can't afford it, just text us, say, Dmitry, I'm on a budget, can't afford it, but I can drive to your class. You have no idea how much impact it can have on you and your business. And if you do it on a regular basis, it will help you to stay motivated. And that's what I see a lot of big business owners do, who owns, 40, 50, $60 million businesses. They just travel a lot because your business will consume you, will overwhelm you, and you do have to get out just to look at it from different angle and keep enjoying it. Tip number 3, guys, is delegate. I know delegation is hard. If you're depressed, you're probably micromanaging or doing too much. Learn how to freaking delegate. I delegate everything. Even the stuff that I want to do, I still delegate. Like right now, we're filming this video. I just sent my receptionist to get me Red Bull. Could I get Red Bull on the way in? Yes, I could, but I would waste another 15-20 minutes and I would not have time to record the video. I would rather spend 10-15 minutes to do this, what's really important, because I have 11 o'clock appointment, it's 11:30. That extra 10-15 minutes, I don't have today. So I delegated my Red Bull because I feel like I need it. I woke up 4 in the morning today. I already guessed out, so I need energy. So she's helping me. Delegate. Your employees will understand why you're asking them to do simple stuff. Sometimes I send my guys, like pay bills or do random stuff. You don't have to do it all. The more you delegate, the more time you will have for yourself and to work actually on your business. We'll all talk about it. We hire people. We talk about, okay, I'm a business owner now, I'm working on my business, but we still fail to give them tasks. We still try to do everything ourselves. Delegate way more than you delegate now if you're stressed and overwhelmed. That's the only way out, to be honest with you. Otherwise, it's going to be the same circle over and over again. How are you going to get out? Delegate. Tip number 4, probably going to sound to you as a bad advice, but it comes from me and it comes for a reason. This is one of the things I did in my business. Pay people more. Pay people more than even you pay yourself. We often hire people, but because they're our employees, we feel like we are more important, we're the business. So let's say you pay yourself $100,000 and you pay your employee 60. Will that employee really have ownership mentality when you're way higher? You should be working more, right? And you should work more. You should have more responsibility and more liability. But what I did in my roofing business, at least, I started paying people way more, because when you pay people more, you can ask more. It's not always going to help. I don't believe that throwing money at the problem will solve it. And as a matter of fact, even my mentors are telling me, Dmitry, you pay people too much. That's one of the criticisms I get from like Rodney Webb and my mentors. But my philosophy there is, let's say I get $100,000 and my sales manager or my production manager or my general manager gets the same amount. Two things are going to happen. One, he's going to really care about the job. Two, I can have a talk with him and say, hey, dude, I'm burning out. Can you pick up a load for me? I can't do it anymore. Now, it's not only your problem, it's also their problems. But you only can have talk like that if you guys are at least equally or close to equally paid. So if you're paying yourself $100,000 and your top guy or top manager, your right hand is getting 60, try this. Maybe do it 70, 90, or 80, 80. So now he's getting paid as much as you do, but guess what? You can shove a little bit more to him. And if you're transparent about it, if he knows he's getting paid more, or almost like yourself, he feels important and he's gonna try to help you too, because now you both have to have the same headaches. So what's happening with the business owners, we're not transparent with our numbers. We know we're getting paid more, but we also have more of the stress. I would rather you to get paid the same as your top producers in your company, but to have the same stress level as them. They'll be stressful sometimes too, but you're all gonna share it. Guess what? Right now, I know my production manager is stressed. I know my sales manager is stressed. But we're all in it together. I'm stressed too with them, but not as much maybe as them. They're helping me with that barrier. And at least on money level, we all share that paycheck, because they know they're not getting paid more for more headaches. So I highly recommend you revisit how much you pay people. And if you pay people too little, maybe that's your problem. Maybe that's why people don't want to work for you or keep walking away from you. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but when you pay people more, you can ask them more. My tip number 5, guys, is find a charity. Just find something that you can do voluntarily. I know a lot of business owners who are very successful, very big, including YouTubers. Like, I don't know how much time they have in a day to do everything they do, but what I've noticed is very successful people, they do a lot of charity, they do mission works. As a matter of fact, one of the speakers of our next class right now on a mission trip, he runs very successful business. I'm not going to mention his name in this video, but the guy is absolutely amazing and he does a lot of missionary work. So if you're a Christian, it could be missions. I know a lot of Christians who used to do mission work, they don't do it anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter what charity you're going to do. For me, Roofing Insights became my charity. I remember my feelings when I started doing free classes, free consulting. I mean, it was absolutely amazing when I have people coming in, and I did not charge for first couple classes, and people were asking, why do you do it? Everybody thinks you have that negative motive or something. Guys, I was doing, I would say 50, 60,000 a year. I was paying myself 50, 60,000 a year first time. I have a flooring business. In my flooring business, at the biggest year, we only did $250,000. So I wasn't rich by any means. But I remember I met a guy, actual family of 4, and they were driving really, really shitty minivan, like with a 200,000 miles. It was Nissan Quest, but it was really, really old. And I had a minivan for sale, Honda Odyssey. It was way better van, probably worth $4,000 or $5,000. And I gave it away. I just came to the family and said, here's the key. I want you to have it. And stuff like that changing you more than changing people you give. I'm not bragging about it. It's been, I don't know, 10 years. It happened 10 years ago, but I'm a giver. When you start giving people for free, volunteer, tips, advice, Roofing Insights is my ministry. So I've been doing this for free for 3 years, but it fulfills me. It gives you purpose. So find a charity. Like if you're a successful business, and you don't see purpose anymore, you're depressed, you don't know what to do or how get motivated again, maybe it's a charity. I know for me it was. Like, I promised myself, if I get out of that hole 3 years ago, I'll help as many people as possible. And I did. 3 years ago, Roofing Insights was not what it is today. And I help a lot of people. I listen to your comments, to your feedback, read the reviews. I know what I'm doing, but I'm not doing it for the praise. I'm doing it because it's my charity. It's my way of giving back. And you can do the same thing. I don't know what's going to be in you. Maybe you adopt a kid. Maybe you help, adoption agency. I know AFCO, the guy who just sold his business, $40 million operation. I read his post in 2018. He gave away $150,000 of charity. How many businesses do you know who can do that? I mean, and that guy is happy. I've never seen him depressed. So maybe when you start giving back, you'll see some results in your mood, in your well-being as well. And my last tip number 6, guys, is join organization that will make you accountable. One of the things I've noticed with our classes and our group, Roofing Insights private group, and our online business school too. This is not plug-in for online business school. You can join any other school or group or find a mentor. But what I notice is business owners, especially if you run a lot of numbers, we're not accountable to anyone. I got to the point in my life, even 3 years ago, where my parents, I didn't have to listen to them. I accomplished way more than they did. And to be honest with you, they couldn't help me. I'm not accountable to my wife. She doesn't know what's happening in business. I make my own decisions. So it's very easy to be self-contained, but that's the biggest problem with depression too. You just don't talk about problems, and you share vision sometimes with people, but you're kind of your own boss. Now, for me, it was Rodney Webb who also helped me a lot, like psychologically in understanding my business. So I found Rodney Webb, and Rodney Webb helped me to be accountable. I hired one of his mentors. He came to my office, we'll look at our numbers, and they told me, Dmitry, you're paying people too much. You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. You have to have somebody in your life who will make you accountable. It could be a group of people. I mean, I invite you to Roofing Insights Business School. I mean, you can join for as less as $200 a month. And if anything, it's at least you'll have someone who you can text, ask a question, or to talk about this. If you're depressed, guess what? For me, talking about depression is as important as your closing rate. This is you and your business, and your health matters, your mental health matters, just like how much to pay your sales guy or commission tracker, like all of that stuff is business essentials too. But guess what? Your health is also business essentials. So maybe join our free Roofing Insights private group. I'm not promoting, I don't get anything from the group, but what I've noticed are people who are engaging with other people, they're overall happier. If you have someone you can talk to who will understand you, you're going to be less depressed. I'm a firm believer in that. For example, I have a best friend who lives here in Minneapolis. I have not seen him for over a year, and he is my best friend. One of the reasons is I don't think he will understand, what I'm really going through. He will understand Roofing Insights or, my roofing business. I mean, we do meet. I can call him anytime, but I can tell you this, in our group, there's more people who can understand me today and who I can share what I really feel than even with my wife or closest friends sometimes. So I know it sounds absurd because this is Facebook, this is internet, but this is real life. If nobody understands you, join a club, join a group, find someone, find a mentor who will help you to be accountable, because a lot of your problems is also, like I started in the beginning, is because of you. You let yourself into your problems. Maybe something bad happened, but depression usually happens because of us, not because of outside of factors. So I highly recommend you find a group who will help you to be accountable. So those are my 6 tips for depression for roofers. Let me know what you guys think in comments below. Feel free to reach. All our information is in the description. We would like to hear from you and help you any way we can. I'll see you guys in the next video.